Hello and welcome to the essay series. Today you're going to learn how to format your essay using something called MLA formatting, which you might have learned about last year, but we're going to review it this year anyway. So the first thing you'll need is your essay, which should be done by this point. And the next thing you'll need is the notes, which can be found at tinyurl.com/ELA-module2. You're going to want to make sure that you are looking at slide number 10. And let's take a look at your notes. So in this slide, you'll see that there is an example of what MLA formatting should look like, found here. And you'll also see that there are some quick notes for you to look at. So the first thing we're going to go over is MLA. MLA stands for Modern Language Association, and it's basically a group of people that sits around and decides what professional essays should look like. Why do they do this? Well, people from all over the world write essays about lots and lots of different things, and these people want to make sure that no matter where you are or what you're writing about, everybody knows exactly where to find what in your essay. So for example, where to find your name, where to find the title, and how your essay is going to be formatted so that it's really easy to read. The first thing that we need to check if we're making sure our essay is in MLA format is our font. In other words, the actual letters that you're using. MLA format needs to be in 12-point Times New Roman font. So let's take a look at my example essay. You can see that I've got a few different fonts going on. So the first thing I'm going to need to do is highlight. I'm going to choose more, type in 12, and change everything to Times New Roman. Now the other thing that's kind of funky about my essay is that there are some different colors being used. Some things are underlined, some things are bold. We want to make sure that nothing is bold and nothing is underlined and everything is black. So I'm going to change my color to black, make sure that nothing is underlined, and make sure that nothing is in bold. The next thing we need to do is check something called our margins. The margin is this little bit of space in between the edge of your paragraph and the edge of your paper. 1 inch is the acceptable size for MLA format. So in order to make sure that my margins are 1 inch, I'm going to highlight my text. I'm going to go up here to this little bar, and I'm going to move it so that it's at the 1 inch block, which is right here. And over here, same thing. Alright, so now all of my text is aligned at the 1 inch margin. The next thing I need to do is check over my paragraph to make sure that my lines have been indented, which means that there's this little space here next to the very first line of the paragraph, and that they've been double spaced, which means that there's space in between each line. So in order to do that, I'm going to go back to my essay where my text is highlighted, and I'm going to go to Format, Line Spacing, Double. To indent my paragraphs, I'm going to put my cursor next to the first word of the first sentence of each paragraph, and in the upper left-hand corner of my keyboard is a key called Tab, which I'm going to press. You're going to want to do this for each one of your paragraphs if you haven't done so already. Now there's a couple other crazy things going on with my essay here that need to be fixed. There should be no pictures along with no crazy fonts. So even though this picture is awesome and it's got this really touching quote, I need to delete it. The next thing I want to do is make sure that there's not extra space in between my paragraphs. So if I go down here, you'll notice that there's a bunch of space here in between my paragraphs. So I'm going to get rid of it just by pressing the backspace button. To put the finishing touches on my essay, I want to make sure that I add a title. Now, my title isn't that exciting, but you can feel free to make your title much more creative than mine. Some people think that since it's the title, we can bold it and put it in a fun font or maybe make it bigger. That's not true. We want to make sure that our title is also the same as the rest of our essay. The only thing that's going to be different about it is that rather than have it aligned left, we're going to make sure it's aligned in the middle. The last thing we're going to do is add our name and page numbers. So in the upper corner, you're going to type your name, the class that you wrote it for, and the date. And to put in numbers, we're going to go to Insert, Page Number, and we want our page numbers in the upper right-hand corner. And you're going to type your last name. Now you can see that even if my pages were to get separated, you'd still know that the pages belong to me. I hope that this has been informative for you. Good luck formatting your own essay. Be sure to use your notes to help you. Thank you for listening.